What if today is the day everything begins to change for you? Not because you force anything, not because you struggle harder, not because you finally figure everything out, but because you softly open your heart and allow life to bless you. There is something very beautiful about the morning. Before the noise begins, before the pressure returns, before the old thoughts try to tell you the same old story, there is a quiet space. And in that quiet space, something sacred is possible. A new thought is possible. A softer feeling is possible. A peaceful beginning is possible. A miracle is possible. This morning is not empty. It is full. It is full of unseen help, unseen grace, and unseen good waiting to reach you. Even if yesterday felt heavy, even if your heart has been tired, even if your mind has been carrying too much for too long, this morning still arrives like a gentle gift placed in your hands. It does not ask you to be perfect. It does not ask you to be ready in every way. It only asks you to notice that you are here. You are breathing. You are alive. And because you are here, there is still room for healing, still room for peace, still room for blessings to enter your life in ways you may not even expect. So many people wake up and begin the day already carrying fear. They wake up and remember what is wrong. They remember what did not work. They remember what they are still waiting for. They remember who disappointed them, what they need to fix, what they should have done better, and all the reasons they feel behind. Before their feet even touch the floor, the mind begins to run. It runs toward worry, toward pressure, toward lack, toward the feeling that something is missing. And yet this morning can be different for you. This morning can begin in another way. This morning can begin with trust. Today, you do not need to chase your blessings. Today, you do not need to prove you are worthy of good things. Today, you do not need to beg life to be kind to you. You can begin from a new place. You can begin by receiving. You can begin by remembering that life is not only something you survive. Life is also something that wants to support you, guide you, and surprise you with goodness when you are willing to open to it. There is a great difference between starting the day defended and starting the day receptive. When you begin the day defended, you expect trouble. When you begin the day receptive, you make room for grace. Just think about that for a moment. What if today does not need to be another day of pushing through? What if today can be a day of allowing? What if peace does not come because you earned it, but because you made space for it? What if blessings are already closer than you think, and all that is needed is a softer heart, a calmer breath, and a willingness to believe that good can reach you too? Sometimes the greatest change does not happen outside of you first. Sometimes it begins in the way you meet the morning. Sometimes it begins in the very first thought you choose. There is power in the beginning of the day. The morning is like fresh soil, The thoughts you place into it matter. The feelings you bring into it matter. The words you speak over your life matter. If you begin by saying, I am tired, I am late, I am worried, I do not have enough, nothing ever changes, then those thoughts become the direction of your day. They become the tone. They become the energy that leads you forward. But if you begin another way, if you begin by saying, today I welcome miracles, today I welcome peace, today I welcome blessings, today I trust life, then the day begins to open differently around you. This is not about pretending that everything is perfect. This is not about denying pain or acting like you have never known loss, fear, or disappointment. It is about choosing the spirit in which you begin. It is about saying, yes, life has been hard at times, but I will not let fear be the first voice I hear this morning. I will not let pressure lead me. I will not hand the first moments of this day over to worry. I will begin with something truer, softer, and stronger. I will begin with trust. That kind of beginning changes more than you know. There are mornings when the heart feels heavy for no clear reason. There are mornings when the body feels slow, when the mind feels full, when hope feels far away. And on those mornings especially, gentleness matters. On those mornings especially, you do not need harsh words. You do not need more pressure. You do not need to demand a better mood from yourself. You need kindness. You need a slower breath. You need the reminder that it is still possible for something good to happen today. A blessing does not always enter with noise. Very often it enters quietly. It enters as peace in the middle of stress. It enters as help at the right moment. It enters as a clear thought after confusion. It enters as strength where you thought there was only weakness. It enters as a small opening sign that changes the whole direction of your day. This is why the morning matters so deeply. The way you begin is the way you invite. If you begin closed, then you spend the day protecting yourself from what might go wrong. If you begin open, then you spend the day available for what might go right. And there is so much that can go right when you stop expecting only struggle. There is so much life can bring when you are not standing at the door of the day with your arms crossed, waiting to be disappointed. There is another way to live. There is another way to begin. You can meet the day with open hands. Maybe no one taught you that. Maybe you learned to wake up in survival mode. Maybe you learned to think ahead, defend yourself, prepare for the worst, and carry everyone and everything before the sun was even fully up. Maybe you learned to believe that if you did not worry, things would fall apart. Maybe you learned that being tense was being responsible. Maybe you learned that relaxing was careless. But peace is not carelessness. Trust is not weakness. Openness is not foolishness. Sometimes the wisest way to begin is by becoming still enough to feel that life is holding you too. You do not have to know every answer this morning. You do not have to solve the whole future before breakfast. You do not have to control how every person responds to you, how every task unfolds, or how every detail works out. You are not here to carry the whole day before it has even begun. You are here to enter it with presence. You are here to enter it with a heart that is soft enough to receive what the day wants to give. That is where miracles often begin. Not in force, not in panic, not in exhaustion. They begin in openness. Imagine beginning today with the simple feeling that something good could happen. Not because you have proof already, not because everything around you has changed, but because your heart has chosen a new position. Your heart has chosen not to block the light before it reaches you. Your heart has chosen not to close the door before grace can knock. Your heart has chosen to say, I am here, I am open, I am ready to receive what is meant for me. That one choice changes the air around you. It changes the way you walk through the morning. It changes the way you speak, the way you notice, the way you respond. There is something deeply healing about expecting good again. Not with pressure, not with demand, not with the fear that you must make it happen, but with quiet readiness. Quiet readiness says, I do not know exactly how this day will unfold, but I believe it can hold something beautiful. Quiet readiness says, I am willing to notice the blessings that are already here and the blessings that are still on the way. Quiet readiness says, I trust that I do not walk into this day alone, and that trust is a powerful beginning. Think of the morning as a doorway. Every day you stand at that doorway with your thoughts, your energy, and your expectations. What you carry through that doorway matters. If you carry resentment, the day feels heavy. If you carry fear, the day feels narrow. If you carry eye pressure, the day feels rushed before it has even begun. But if you carry trust, if you carry softness, if you carry the willingness to receive, then the doorway becomes something else. It becomes sacred. It becomes the place where you leave behind yesterday's grip and step into today's grace. You may not think of yourself as someone who expects miracles. Maybe that word feels too big. Maybe it feels distant or unrealistic. But a miracle does not always mean something dramatic. A miracle can be a peaceful mind where there used to be chaos. A miracle can be the strength to begin again. A miracle can be the release of a burden you have carried too long. A miracle can be an unexpected kindness, a new idea, a calm answer, a lifted heart, a protected path, a door closing for your good, or another opening at just the right time. A miracle is often simply life moving in a loving way through your day. And if that is true, then this morning is already full of possibility. This morning can become the place where you stop saying, I wonder what will go wrong, and begin saying, I wonder what good is trying to reach me today. That is not a small change. That is a holy change. That is a change in the direction of your attention, the direction of your energy. and the direction of your life. What you expect, you are more ready to notice. What you notice, you give energy to, and what you give energy to begins to grow in your experience. So before the day carries you forward, pause here. Pause in this soft moment. Let yourself feel that there is still goodness available to you. Let yourself feel that this morning has not come to punish you. It has come to meet you. It has come to offer you another chance to begin in peace. It has come to place a simple truth in your heart. You do not need to be afraid of this day. You can enter it gently. You can enter it openly. You can enter it with the quiet belief that blessings belong in your life too. Today can be shaped by a different voice. Not the voice of fear, not the voice of pressure, not the old voice that tells you life is hard and you must grip tighter. Let today be shaped by a softer voice, a wiser voice, a voice that reminds you that peace is a power, a voice that reminds you that grace often reaches the ones who stop fighting it, a voice that says, there is good for me today, there is help for me today, there is peace for me today, there are blessings for me today. Perhaps you have forgotten what it feels like to start the day this way. Perhaps the habit of tension has become so normal that you do not even notice it anymore. But your spirit remembers. Your heart remembers. There is a part of you that knows how to begin in faith instead of fear. There is a part of you that knows how to begin in stillness instead of strain. There is a part of you that already understands that life responds differently when you stop meeting it with closed fists. And this morning, that part of you is ready to rise. You are not being asked to become a different person before this day begins. You are not being asked to fix your whole life in a single morning. You are only being invited to start differently, to breathe differently, to listen differently, to expect differently, to allow a little more light into the first moments of your day. That is enough. That is more than enough. Because one gentle beginning can shape the whole way a day unfolds. Today, let the first truth be this: something beautiful can happen here. Something kind can reach you here. Something healing can begin here. Not later when you have done enough. Not someday when everything is perfect. Here, in this breath, in this morning, in this very beginning, the day has not asked you to carry it. The day has simply arrived and opened its hands to you. You can do the same. You can open your hands too. And in that opening, you may discover that what you have been looking for does not always come through effort. Sometimes it comes through readiness. Sometimes it comes through a simple shift in the heart. Sometimes it comes through the quiet decision to say, I no longer begin my mornings in fear. I begin them in trust. I begin them in peace. I begin them with the willingness to receive. This is how the day begins to bless you. This is how your spirit begins to soften. This is how a miracle enters, not with force, but with welcome. Today is a new field. Today is a fresh page. Today is a sacred opening. The day is still untouched in many ways, and that means possibility is still alive. So let this morning be different. Let this morning be softer. Let this morning be guided by the truth that life still has good in store for you. Let this morning begin not with fear of what may go wrong, but with openness to what may go beautifully right. And from that place, everything begins to shift. Take a slow breath now and let the morning come all the way into you. Not as an idea, not as something passing by outside of you, but as something living and real that is meeting you in this very moment. Feel the air enter your body. Feel your chest rise. Feel the soft release as you breathe out. There is no need to rush this. There is no need to perform this. There is no need to do it in a perfect way. Just breathe and notice that you are here. This moment is enough. Before the lists, before the plans, before the world tells you what it wants from you, this moment is enough. The breath you are taking right now is enough. The fact that you are alive in this morning is enough. The fact that your heart is still beating, that life is still moving through you, that a new day has reached you again, all of that is enough. You do not need to improve yourself before you can arrive here. You do not need to solve the day before you can be present in it. Presence does not ask for perfection. It asks only for your attention. Let your attention come back to your body. So often the mind runs ahead and leaves the body behind. The mind rushes into later, into fear, into planning, into remembering old pain or trying to control what has not even happened yet. But your body is still here. Your body is waiting patiently in the present moment. Your body speaks a simpler language. It knows this breath. It knows this chair, this bed, this floor beneath you. It knows the quiet air of morning. It knows the way peace begins, not by thinking more, but by returning to what is real right now. Feel the place where you are resting. Feel what is holding you. Notice that you are supported in this moment. You may not always feel supported in every part of life, but right now there is support beneath you. There is air around you. There is breath within you. There is ground under you. There is life carrying you in ways so quiet that you might forget to notice. But support is here. And when you remember that support is here, even in a small way, the heart begins to soften. Now let your shoulders relax a little more. You do not need to carry everything this early. You do not need to lift the weight of the entire day before the day has even unfolded. Let your jaw soften. Let your hands loosen. Let your stomach rest. Let your forehead relax. So much tension hides in the body without asking permission. So much pressure gathers quietly in the muscles, in the breath, in the face. And one of the kindest things you can do for yourself this morning is to release what you do not need to hold. Take another slow breath. Inhale gently, exhale fully, and as you breathe out, imagine releasing all the noise that does not belong in this sacred beginning. Release the leftover stress from yesterday. Release the pressure to get everything right. Release the old fear that says you must stay alert at all times or life will fall apart. Release the need to know how every part of the day will go. You do not need all those things right now. In fact, they keep you from receiving this moment as it is. This moment is simple. This breath is simple. Presence is simple. It is the mind that makes life feel far away. It is the mind that tells you the moment is not enough, that you should already be somewhere else, doing something else, becoming something else. But peace is not found by leaving the present moment. Peace is found by returning to it. Peace is found by realizing that right now, before the story starts again, there is a stillness underneath everything, and that stillness is available to you. Maybe you have spent so much time living in the next thing that you have forgotten how healing it is to simply arrive where you are, to simply feel your breath, to simply notice the light of the morning, to simply be with yourself without trying to fix yourself. That kind of presence is deeply powerful. It sends a message to your whole being. I am no longer running from this moment. I am here. I am willing to be here. I am willing to let this moment touch me before the day asks more of me. Sometimes people think peace will come later, after the work is done, after the problem is solved, after the right person arrives, after the answer appears. But peace has a smaller doorway than that. Peace often enters through one honest breath, one relaxed shoulder, one quiet pause. A moment of saying, I do not need to race into the future right now. I can stay here a little longer. That one choice shifts the whole nervous system. It tells the body there is no danger in being here. It tells the mind that not every moment must be conquered. It tells the heart that it is safe to soften. Look at how gently the morning moves. It does not shout. It does not demand. It does not force the flowers to open or the light to rise faster than it should. Morning comes with patience. Morning comes with quiet certainty. Morning comes with a natural rhythm. And you are part of that rhythm too. You do not need to rush yourself into your day. You can let yourself enter it the way morning enters the world, slowly, softly, naturally. There is wisdom in that kind of beginning. When you return to the present moment, you begin to notice what fear hides from you. You notice that not everything is wrong right now. You notice that this breath is happening without struggle. You notice that the body can soften. You notice that light still exists. You notice that there may be uncertainty, yes, but there is also support. There may be questions, yes, but there is also life moving faithfully through you. The present moment holds both truth and tenderness. It holds what is real, but it also holds the space where grace can meet you. Take a hand and place it gently over your heart if that feels right to you. Feel the quiet beat there. Feel how steady it has been. Through all the days you thought you would not make it, through all the nights you spent overthinking, through every disappointment, every fear, every change, your heart has kept going. Your heart has stayed with you. Your life has stayed with you. There is something very sacred in remembering that. You are not beginning from nothing this morning. You are beginning from a place of life still moving in you. Let this be the moment where you stop arguing with the day before it begins. Let this be the moment where you stop telling yourself that you are already late, already lacking, already not enough. Let this be the moment where you simply rest in the truth that you are here now, and here is where your power is. Not in yesterday, not in the imagined future, not in all the possible outcomes the mind keeps trying to rehearse. Your power is in this breath, in this awareness, in this choice to return to now. There is healing in simplicity, a simple breath, a simple pause, a simple willingness to notice. The mind may want something more dramatic. It may want proof, answers, a guarantee. But the soul often moves another way. The soul heals in quiet ways. The soul settles when the breath settles. The soul remembers itself when you stop running ahead. This is why arriving in the present moment matters so much. It is not small. It is not nothing. It is the place where you stop scattering your energy and begin gathering it back into your own life. You can feel the difference, even now. When the mind is racing, the whole body tightens. But when you arrive in the present moment, something opens. The chest softens. The breath deepens. The eyes relax. The shoulders lower. The body begins to trust the moment again. That trust is precious. That trust is the beginning of receiving. Because you cannot receive a blessing while fighting the moment you are in. The heart must first become still enough to notice what is already being offered. And there is so much being offered in a quiet morning. There is peace in the silence between thoughts. There is blessing in the air before the day becomes loud. There is tenderness in the first light. There is comfort in the way the body can relax when you stop filling it with fear. There is a deep spiritual power in beginning the day with awareness. Awareness says, I am no longer asleep inside my own life. I am noticing. I am present. I am available to this moment. And that kind of presence changes everything. You do not have to become perfectly calm right away. You do not have to empty your mind completely. You do not have to force yourself into some special state. This is not about force. It is about returning. If the mind wanders, let it wander and bring it back gently. If worry comes, notice it, and return to the breath. If old thoughts rise, let them pass through and return again to the feeling of being here. Presence does not ask you to never drift. It simply asks you to come back with kindness when you do. This moment is not waiting for you to deserve it. It is already here. This breath is not asking if you have earned peace. It is simply entering and leaving your body. The morning light is not asking if you did enough yesterday. It simply shines. There is something so beautiful in that. Life keeps offering itself. Life keeps arriving. Life keeps beginning again. And you are allowed to begin again with it. You are allowed to meet this moment without the weight of proving anything. As you continue to breathe, notice what happens when you stop trying to hold the whole world together. Something in you loosens. Something in you remembers that you were not meant to wake up and immediately carry every problem. You were meant to wake up and first return to yourself. Return to your breath. Return to your heart. Return to the quiet center where fear does not get the first word. When you begin there, the whole day feels different because you are moving from a truer place. You can trust this present moment more than you think. Not because everything in life is certain, but because this moment is where clarity begins. The future is often full of imagined stories, but the present moment is where reality can be felt. And reality, when met honestly, is often kinder than fear says it will be. Right now, you are breathing. Right now, you are safe enough to pause. Right now, there is no need to rush into the next hour. Right now, you can let yourself be held by the simple truth that this moment is enough. Stay here a little longer. Stay with the breath a little longer. Stay with the feeling of support a little longer. Stay with the softness that is beginning in your body. Let the morning reach you. Let the present moment become real again. Let your spirit feel that it does not need to chase peace elsewhere. Peace is here in the pause. Peace is here in the breath. Peace is here in the choice to stop running and simply arrive. And as you arrive more fully, notice how the day begins to feel less like something to survive and more like something to enter with awareness. That is one of the great gifts of the present moment. It changes your relationship with the day itself. Instead of waking up already overwhelmed, you wake up connected. Instead of waking up already behind, you wake up here. Instead of waking up in struggle, you wake up in contact with life as it truly is, breathing, moving, supporting, offering. This is how the morning becomes sacred. Not because it is perfect, but because you are present in it. Not because all your questions are answered, but because you stop letting those questions steal the beauty of what is here. The present moment is where blessings are first felt. The present moment is where trust becomes possible. The present moment is where you meet life before fear translates it. And when you begin there, the whole tone of the day changes. So breathe once more, slowly and gently. Let the morning fill you. Let the body soften. Let the mind slow down enough to notice that you are not outside of your life. You are in it, right here, right now. And this moment, just as it is, can hold peace. This moment can hold grace. This moment can hold the beginning of something beautiful. The deepest truth of this morning is simple. Miracles do not need to be chased. They can be welcomed. Blessings do not always come through struggle. Very often they come through openness. Good things are not always forced into your life by effort. Many times they enter when your heart becomes quiet enough, soft enough, and trusting enough to receive them. This is the truth at the center of today. You do not have to push life so hard for good to reach you. You can welcome it. For many people, this feels unusual at first. They have learned to believe that if they want something better, they must grip tighter. They must think harder. They must worry more. They must prepare for every possible problem. They must carry the future on their shoulders and prove through effort that they deserve peace, success, love, or healing. But life does not always open that way. There is another way. There is a gentler way. There is a way of meeting life with trust. And when you do, something beautiful begins to happen. The heart opens, the mind softens, and the good that was already trying to enter has a way in. Welcoming miracles does not mean sitting back in fear and hoping something outside of you saves the day. It means changing the spirit in which you live. It means choosing to meet the morning with openness instead of defense. It means deciding that today you will not block every blessing with doubt before it has a chance to reach you. It means becoming willing to believe that life can support you in ways you may not yet see. That willingness is powerful. That openness is powerful. It changes as the energy you move through, and it changes the way you recognize what is being given. Think of how different it feels to live with a closed heart and an open heart. A closed heart expects disappointment. A closed heart mistrusts every good thing. A closed heart says, "This won't last. This isn't for me. I should be careful. I should not hope too much." But an open heart moves another way. An open heart says, "I am willing to receive. I am willing to trust. I am willing to let something good reach me." And because of that, the open heart notices more. It notices kindness. It notices guidance. It notices timing. It notices help. It notices the quiet ways life is already moving with love. Miracles often begin long before you can see them clearly. They begin in the hidden places. They begin in the shift of a thought. They begin in the softening of fear. They begin in the moment you stop telling yourself that goodness belongs to other people, but not to you. They begin in the morning when you say, "Today I will not begin with lack. Today I will begin with welcome." That single change is not small. It is a doorway. It is an invitation sent into the atmosphere of your day. It tells life, I am no longer shutting the window before the light can enter. I am opening the curtains. This is why your first thoughts matter so much. What you say to life in the morning shapes what you are ready to receive from it. If you say, I am afraid, nothing changes, there is never enough, I always struggle, then you close the door before blessings can even knock. But if you say, today I welcome miracles, today I welcome blessings, today I welcome good, today I trust that life can meet me kindly, then something in you relaxes and opens. You stop fighting the possibility of grace. You start making room for it. Welcoming miracles is not pretending that pain does not exist. It is not denying that life can be difficult. It is not about becoming blind to the real things you are facing. It is about refusing to let fear be the only truth you live by. It is about refusing to let pain become the only story you tell. It is about remembering that even in a hard season, good can still arrive. Even in uncertainty, guidance can still appear. Even in waiting, something beautiful can still be moving toward you. Life is more generous than fear allows you to see. Sometimes blessings come in the form you hoped for. Sometimes they arrive exactly how you prayed. But often, blessings enter more quietly than that. They enter as inner peace in the middle of outer confusion. They enter as strength you did not know you had. They enter as a delay that protects you. They enter as the ending of something that no longer fits your life. They enter as a soft word at the right time, a new idea, a calmer mind, a clearer path, a changed heart. When you welcome miracles, you stop deciding in advance what all good must look like. You become open to the loving intelligence of life itself. That openness changes the way you walk through the day. When you are open, you do not miss every blessing. Because it did not arrive in the exact form you expected. You begin to see that a peaceful heart is a blessing. A wise pause is a blessing. A protected path is a blessing. A quiet no can be a blessing. A new beginning can be a blessing. A chance to rest can be a blessing. An old burden falling away can be a blessing. A moment of tears that softens the heart can be a blessing. Miracles are not always loud. Often they are holy because they are quiet. There is also something very important to understand. What you welcome, you become more able to notice. If you wake up looking for reasons to feel defeated, you will find them. If you wake up looking for reasons to stay tense, you will find them. But if you wake up with the honest willingness to notice blessings, then your eyes begin to change, your attention changes, your spirit changes. You become more aware of the gentle ways life is helping you. You become less blind to goodness. This does not happen because you are pretending. It happens because your heart is finally facing in a new direction. The truth is that many people are not missing blessings because blessings are absent. They are missing blessings because their inner state is closed. They are too rushed to notice, too afraid to receive, too used to disappointment to trust what is opening, too full of old stories to let a new one begin. And that is why this morning practice matters. It is not just about saying a few kind words. It is about creating an inner condition where grace can land and stay. It is about preparing the soil of your day. Imagine a garden. If the soil is hard and closed, the seed cannot enter easily. But if the soil is soft and open, life begins to grow. Your heart is like that. Your thoughts are like that. Your morning energy is like that. When the heart is hard with fear, when the mind is crowded with pressure, when the spirit is shut down by old pain, then even the good that tries to enter has a harder time taking root. But when you begin with openness, the soil changes, the day changes. What was trying to reach you can finally begin to grow in you. And so the practice is simple, even if it is deep. Welcome, welcome peace, welcome help, welcome healing, welcome loving surprises, welcome the possibility that today does not have to repeat yesterday. Welcome the thought that life may be more on your side than you have allowed yourself to believe. Welcome the quiet miracle of beginning again. When you welcome these things, you stop living like someone who expects only struggle. You begin to live like someone who understands that life still contains blessing. This is not weakness. It takes courage to welcome good when you have been disappointed before. It takes courage to remain open when life has taught you to protect yourself. It takes courage to believe in blessing after seasons of pain. But the heart was not made to stay closed forever. The spirit was not made to live in constant defense. There comes a time when healing asks you to trust again, not everything, not everyone, not blindly, but trust life itself enough to let some light back in. This morning can be that time. Today, you can decide that you will not spend all your energy trying to control what has not yet happened. You can decide that instead of trying to force outcomes, you will hold yourself in openness. That does not mean you stop caring. It means you stop strangling the day with fear. It means you release the belief that only tension can keep you safe. It means you begin to understand that calmness is not empty. Calmness is a receiving state. Calmness is where insight comes. Calmness is where peace grows. Calmness is where miracles can be noticed. Say to yourself quietly now, if only in your heart, today I welcome miracles. Let that sentence be simple. Let it be soft. Let it be honest. You do not need to say it with perfect belief. You only need to say it with willingness. Today I welcome miracles. Today I welcome blessings. Today I welcome help that I cannot yet see. Today I welcome peace into my mind, softness into my body, trust into my heart. These are not just pretty words. These are directions. These are openings. These are seeds. Each time you repeat that truth, you begin to move out of resistance and into receptivity. Resistance says, "Nothing works for me." Receptivity says, "I am willing to let life show me otherwise." Resistance says, "I must force everything." Receptivity says, "I can participate without gripping." Resistance says, "I will believe in good only after it arrives." Receptivity says, "I make room for good before I see all of it." And that is faith in its gentlest and most practical form. Not blind certainty, but open-hearted readiness. The good you seek does not always respond to pressure. Peace does not come because you shouted louder than your fear. Blessings do not always arrive because you worried hard enough. Healing does not unfold because you punished yourself into it. So much of what is beautiful enters through the softer door. It enters when you stop pushing against life and begin moving with it. It enters when you stop demanding proof and begin allowing possibility. It enters when you stop gripping and begin trusting the deeper rhythm of things. There is a natural rhythm to life. Morning knows it. Breath knows it. Nature knows it. The sun does not rush to rise. The flower does not force itself to bloom in fear. The river does not panic its way forward. There is a deeper intelligence moving through life, and you are part of it. When you welcome miracles, you are not stepping outside reality. You are stepping back into alignment with that deeper rhythm. You are saying, "I do not need to live in constant resistance. I can let life move through me in a kinder way." And when you do, the day begins to feel less like a battle and more like a conversation. Life shows you things. Life meets you. Life opens and closes in ways you begin to understand more clearly. You become less frantic and more aware. You become less controlling and more guided. You become less numb and more available to wonder. This is what it means to welcome miracles. It means that you no longer move through the day as though goodness must fight its way through your fear to reach you. You begin to cooperate with grace. There is such freedom in that. Freedom from the old habit of making yourself carry more than you were meant to carry. Freedom from the belief that you must tighten to be safe. Freedom from the need to decide before the day unfolds that it will be hard. Freedom to become a person who notices support. Freedom to become a person who receives. Freedom to become a person who lets life be generous. This kind of freedom is spiritual. It is emotional, it is practical, and it begins with one soft inner choice. Today, let that choice be yours. Let the truth of this morning settle into your heart. You do not have to chase every blessing. You can welcome it. You do not have to force every miracle. You can make room for it. You do not have to begin in fear. You can begin in trust. And from that trust, the whole day begins to open in a different way. Not because life suddenly becomes perfect, but because you are no longer standing against the good that is trying to find you. So hold this truth close as the morning continues. Blessings come more easily to the open heart. Miracles are more visible to the peaceful mind. Grace is easier to receive when the soul is not armored against it. Today, you can choose to live in that openness. Today, you can choose to become receptive to the good that is already moving toward you. Today, you can choose to begin not from struggle, but from welcome. And that is where the transformation begins. So many people do not miss blessings because blessings are not there. They miss blessings because their minds are too full to notice them. They begin the day already tense. They begin the day already expecting something to go wrong. They begin the day carrying yesterday's fear into today's fresh hours. And when the heart is tight like that, even gentle goodness can pass by without being seen. It is not that life is empty. It is that the mind is crowded. This happens so easily, and for many people it has become normal. The eyes open, and before the body has even fully awakened, the thoughts begin. There is so much to do. There is not enough time. What if this goes wrong? What if that person says something upsetting? What if the money is not enough? What if I am not enough? What if today is just another hard day like the ones before it? These thoughts move quickly, and because they move quickly, they feel true. They feel important. They feel like preparation. But so often, they are not preparing you for life. They are only pulling you away from it. The mind can become so used to stress that it starts to believe stress is wisdom. It starts to believe that worrying is being responsible. It starts to believe that rushing is strength. It starts to believe that expecting problems is safer than expecting good. And after a while, this way of living becomes automatic. It becomes the morning habit. It becomes the lens through which the whole day is seen. Then even when something kind appears, the person is too tense to receive it. Even when help comes, they are too guarded to trust it. Even when peace is available, they are too busy rehearsing fear to notice it. That is one of the quiet reasons blessings get missed. Blessings often enter softly. They do not always push their way through all the noise. They do not always arrive with loud signs. Sometimes a blessing is a calm thought in the middle of a hard morning. Sometimes it is a delay that protects you. Sometimes it is a conversation that gently changes your direction. Sometimes it is strength rising inside you when you thought you had none left. Sometimes it is simply a peaceful breath, a clear mind, a kind word, or a feeling that you are not alone. But when your attention is locked onto fear, these things can pass by unnoticed. Many people also miss blessings because they have learned to focus more on what is wrong than on what is possible. This is not because they are weak. This is not because they are bad. It is often because life has hurt them, disappointed them, or taught them to stay on guard. When someone has known stress for a long time, the nervous system learns to look for danger first. It learns to scan the day for problems. It learns to prepare for pain before joy. And once that pattern is strong, the heart begins to close without even realizing it. A closed heart does not always look closed from the outside. A person can be smiling and still be closed. A person can be busy, successful, capable, and still be closed. A person can do all the right things and still move through the day with an inner feeling of defense. They may say they want blessings, but deep inside they do not fully trust that blessings can stay. They may say they want peace, but they are still holding tightly to the old belief that if they relax, life will surprise them in painful ways. They may say they are open, but the body still says, stay ready, stay tense, stay careful. That inner tension matters more than most people realize. It shapes the day. It shapes what feels possible. It shapes what gets noticed. When you are tense, every problem feels bigger. Every delay feels personal. Every silence feels like bad news. The day becomes heavy before it has had a chance to unfold. But more than that, tension also sends a quiet message to life. I do not trust this day. I do not trust that something good can reach me. I do not trust that I am supported. And when that message repeats day after day, it becomes a habit of living. There is another reason blessings get missed, and it is this. Many people are looking for only one kind of miracle. They are looking for something huge, immediate, and obvious. They tell themselves that if life does not change in one big way, then nothing is happening. They overlook the smaller signs. They overlook the gentle openings. They overlook the quiet ways the heart is healing, the mind is softening, the path is shifting. They overlook the peace that has begun to return because it does not look dramatic enough. But life often moves in small, holy ways before the larger changes appear. A blessing does not become less real because it is quiet. A miracle does not become less powerful because it arrives softly. In fact, some of the greatest changes begin in ways that almost seem too simple to matter. A new thought, a lighter feeling, a different response, a little more patience, a little more hope, a little less fear. These things may seem small, but they are not small. They are signs that the inner world is changing. And when the inner world changes, the outer life begins to change too. Another reason people miss blessings is because they are too busy holding on to what they thought the day should look like. They wake up with a strict picture in their mind. This should happen. That person should respond this way. The timing should go like this. I should feel strong all day. Nothing should interrupt my plans. And if the day moves differently, they become upset, discouraged, or afraid. But sometimes the blessing is hidden inside the change of plans. Sometimes the blessing is the interruption. Sometimes the blessing is that life did not go the way the mind demanded. This is hard for many people to accept because control feels safe. The mind loves plans, and there is nothing wrong with having plans. But when the heart becomes attached to one exact outcome, it can miss the wisdom in what is actually unfolding. It can miss the protection in a delay. It can miss the lesson in a pause. It can miss the kindness in a redirection. It can miss the miracle because it came through another door. That is why openness matters so much. Openness lets life be wiser than your fear. Some people also miss blessings because deep down they do not yet believe they deserve them. This can be a very quiet feeling. It may not even be spoken out loud, but it lives in the way they brush off kindness, in the way they expect disappointment, in the way they close themselves to receiving. If a good opportunity comes, they doubt it. If someone speaks kindly, they question it. If peace starts to enter, they wait for it to be taken away. This is what unworthiness does. It makes the heart suspicious of good things. It makes receiving feel unsafe. But the truth is, blessings are not only for those who feel ready. Blessings are not only for those who have figured everything out. Blessings are not only for those who never struggle. Blessings belong in your life too. Peace belongs in your life too. Help belongs in your life too. Grace belongs in your life too. Yet when the heart carries old shame, old fear, or the belief that it must earn love, it becomes harder to let these truths in. That is why spiritual practice begins by softening the inner walls. There is also the habit of rushing. Rushing is one of the great ways people lose touch with blessing. When you are rushing, you do not really feel your own life. You move past moments before they have time to speak to you. You miss what is trying to meet you because you are already mentally somewhere else. You may be walking through a morning full of beauty, but your mind is already in the future. You may be in the middle of a sacred pause, but your thoughts are already in the next task. Rushing does not only tire the body, it closes the doors of awareness. Life does not usually shout over your rushing to get your attention. Peace does not chase you down while you are running. Blessings often need a little space. They need a little stillness. They need enough room for you to notice that something good is here. This is why slowing down is not laziness. Slowing down is not weakness. Slowing down is often the beginning of seeing clearly. It is the beginning of hearing the deeper rhythm underneath all the noise. And then there is the habit of beginning the day with criticism. Some people wake up and before anything else, they start being hard on themselves. They think of all the things they have not done, all the things they wish they were, all the ways they feel behind. They criticize their body, their mood, their progress, their past. And when the day begins in self-criticism, the heart shrinks. The spirit grows tired. The person becomes less able to notice anything good because they are already fighting themselves from the inside. A person cannot truly receive peace while attacking their own spirit. The day was not meant to begin in inner warfare. It was not meant to begin with punishment. It was not meant to begin with a voice that says, "You are late, wrong, weak, behind, not enough." That voice does not prepare you for blessing. It blocks blessing. It blocks joy. It blocks trust. It fills the inner space with heaviness until even the simplest kindness feels out of reach. And yet many people have heard that voice for so long that they think it is normal. They think it is just who they are. But it is not who they are. It is only a pattern, and patterns can change. Blessings are often missed, not because life is refusing to give, but because the inner room is full of fear, pressure, and harshness. The room is crowded. There is no quiet chair for peace to sit in. There is no open window for light to enter through. There is no soft place for the heart to rest. That is why this morning practice matters. It clears space. It makes room. It says, "I no longer want to begin my day in a way that pushes away the very things I am praying for." When you understand this, you begin to feel compassion for yourself instead of blame. You begin to see that if you have been missing blessings, it does not mean you are broken. It does not mean life has forgotten you. It does not mean miracles are not meant for you. It may simply mean your mind has been too tired, too busy, too trained in fear to see what has already been trying to reach you. And once you realize that, a new possibility opens. Because what can be learned can be unlearned. What has become habit can become something new. You can learn to begin the day differently. You can learn to make room for good. You can learn to notice blessings without needing them to come in one perfect form. You can learn to soften your body, calm your thoughts, and let the heart become more trusting. You can learn to stop rushing past your own life. You can learn to stop filling the morning woe with so much fear that peace has nowhere to land. You can learn to receive. And this is where the shift begins. Not by blaming yourself for all the mornings you have started in stress. Not by feeling guilty for being human. Not by judging your own fear. The shift begins by noticing. The shift begins by seeing clearly what has been happening and saying, "I do not want to live this way anymore. I do not want to miss the goodness that is trying to enter my life. I do not want fear to get the first word every morning. I am ready for another way." That readiness is powerful. Readiness opens the next door. Readiness creates the space where the heart can begin to turn from defense to trust, from hurry to presence, from fear to openness. And once that turn begins, blessings are no longer so easy to miss. The same life is still there, but you begin to see it with new eyes. The same morning is still there, but you begin to receive it in a new way. The same day is still ahead, but now you are entering it with a different spirit. So today begins with a different choice. Not the old choice of fear, not the old habit of rushing, not the old way of waking up already guarded and already tired. Today begins with openness. This does not mean everything in your life is suddenly solved. It does not mean every question has been answered. It simply means that your heart is no longer choosing to start the day closed. It means you are willing to meet this morning with softer hands, a softer breath, and a softer mind. Openness begins in very quiet ways. It begins when you stop telling yourself that the day will surely be hard before it has even had a chance to speak. It begins when you stop expecting trouble as your first morning ritual. It begins when you take one slow breath and say, maybe something good can reach me today. That thought may seem simple, but it has power. It changes the direction of your attention. It changes the feeling in your body. It changes the message you are sending into the day. Instead of beginning with defense, begin with trust. Trust does not mean you understand everything. Trust does not mean you control the outcome. Trust simply means you are willing to believe that life can hold you even when you do not know exactly how the day will go. Trust says, I do not have to push against every hour. I can move with life instead of against it. There is so much peace in that shift. There is so much freedom in realizing that you do not need to fight the whole day in advance. Instead of beginning with rushing, begin with presence. Before you think about all the things waiting for you, return to the breath. Return to the body. Return to the fact that this morning is happening now, not later, not all at once, not in one giant wave of pressure. The day will unfold step by step. The next moment will come when it comes. You do not need to carry every step before you take the first one. Presence reminds you of that. Presence says, stay here. Life is happening here. Peace is available here. Instead of beginning with pressure, begin with permission. Give yourself permission to enter the day gently. Give yourself permission to not know everything. Give yourself permission to be human this morning. Give yourself permission to soften without feeling guilty. Some people are so used to pressure that they do not even know how to begin with kindness. But kindness is not weakness. Kindness is not giving up. Kindness is often the very thing that allows the spirit to open and receive strength again. Let this be the morning when you stop saying, I must hold everything together. Let this be the morning when you say, I am willing to be supported too. There is a great difference between those two ways of living. One is heavy, one is lonely. One leaves the heart exhausted before the day even begins. The other makes room for grace. The other allows help. The other says, I am not alone in this day. Life is moving with me. I can let myself be carried in ways I do not always see. Openness is a way of standing in the morning with your heart unlocked. It is not naive. It is not careless. It is simply available. It is willing. It says, I do not want to close the door before the blessing arrives. I do not want to shut out peace because fear has become familiar. I do not want to miss what is trying to reach me. That kind of openness is sacred. It is a spiritual decision. It is also a practical one, because the more open you are, the more clearly you begin to notice what the day is offering. Today, choose openness instead of trying to predict every problem. Today, choose openness instead of assuming that the day must repeat yesterday. Today, choose openness instead of building walls before anything has even happened. There are so many mornings in a person's life, and each one is a chance to begin again. Each one is a chance to choose another inner position. Each one is a chance to say, I may have lived in fear before, but this morning I am turning toward trust. Perhaps this feels new for you. Perhaps part of your heart still wants to stay guarded. That is okay. Openness does not ask you to force a feeling. It only asks you to become willing. Willingness is enough to begin. Willingness says, even if I am not fully there yet, I want to move in that direction. Willingness says, even if fear still speaks sometimes, I do not want fear to lead me. Willingness says, I am ready for a softer way of living. And from willingness, the heart begins to open little by little. You do not have to open all at once. You do not have to wake up tomorrow as a completely different person. The shift can be gentle. It can be simple. It can begin with one thought, one breath, one prayer, one pause. It can begin with the quiet sentence, today I choose to stay open. That sentence alone can change the tone of your whole morning. It reminds the heart that it has another option besides fear. It reminds the body that it does not have to carry old tension into every new day. When you shift into openness, you stop gripping the day so tightly. You stop demanding that every moment match your plan. You stop measuring everything by fear. You allow life to move. You allow people to be who they are. You allow timing to unfold. You allow your own spirit some room to breathe. This does not mean you stop caring. It means you stop strangling the flow of life with constant inner resistance. And the moment you do that, things begin to feel lighter. There is something deeply healing about lightness. Not because it means nothing matters, but because it means you are no longer carrying more than is yours. Lightness comes when you stop dragging yesterday into today. Lightness comes when you stop preparing for disaster before the morning is even fully open. Lightness comes when you let the heart believe even a little that goodness is still possible. That belief does not have to be loud. It can be soft. It can be quiet. It can simply say, I will not close myself to blessing today. Try feeling that now. Not as an idea only, but as a real choice. Let your chest soften and ask yourself, what would it feel like to move through this day open to good? What would it feel like to notice help instead of only pressure? What would it feel like to trust that even if the day brings challenges, it can also bring grace? What would it feel like to walk into this morning expecting that life may have something kind in store for you? Feel how different that is from the old way. Feel how the body responds to that softness. When you choose openness, you are not becoming passive. You are becoming receptive. There is a difference. Passivity waits in dullness. Receptivity stands awake and ready. Receptivity says, I am present, I am listening, I am available. Receptivity is active in a peaceful way. It does not chase blessings. It notices them. It does not beg for miracles. It welcomes them. It does not force life into shape. It trusts that life is moving, and it stays open enough to recognize that movement. This is the energy you want to carry into your morning. Not force, not strain, not fear. Openness, openness in the breath. Openness in the eyes. Openness in the thoughts you choose. Openness in the way you walk into the day. When you live from openness, even ordinary moments begin to feel different. A conversation can carry more warmth. A pause can carry more peace. A quiet answer can feel like guidance. A small kindness can feel like confirmation. The world has not necessarily changed, but your way of meeting it has. And because your way of meeting it has changed, your experience begins to change too. You become easier to guide, easier to calm, easier to bless. Not because life is suddenly simple, but because you are no longer blocking every opening with fear. You are no longer looking at the day through only one lens. You are making space for another truth, that this day can hold beauty too. This day can hold support too. This day can hold something unexpected and good. So this morning, let your spirit make this shift with tenderness. Say to yourself, I release the need to begin in fear. I choose to begin in openness. Say, I release the habit of expecting the worst. I choose to stay available to the best. Say, I do not need to know the whole path. I only need to keep my heart open as I take the next step. These kinds of thoughts lift the weight from the soul. They remind you that your day does not need to be entered like a battlefield. It can be entered like sacred ground. You are allowed to start over in the way you meet your mornings. You are allowed to stop worshiping pressure. You are allowed to put down the old belief that tension is the only path to safety. You are allowed to trust life a little more. You are allowed to hope again. You are allowed to begin with a heart that says yes to peace before the world says anything at all, and that yes changes more than you know. The shift into openness is the bridge between missing blessings and receiving them. It is the bridge between a day led by fear and a day shaped by grace. It is the bridge between old inner habits and a new spiritual rhythm. The more often you make this shift, the more natural it becomes. The more often you choose openness, the more the heart learns that it is safe to live this way. And as the heart learns, the whole life begins to soften around it. So let this be your morning turning point. Let this be the place where the old tightness begins to loosen. Let this be the place where your spirit remembers that it was never meant to live in constant defense. Let this be the place where you choose to meet the day, not with fear in your hands, but with openness in your heart. Because openness is how blessings enter. Openness is how miracles are recognized. Openness is how the morning becomes holy again. Now let this truth become words. Let it become something you can carry in your mouth, in your breath, in your heart. The mind is always repeating something. The heart is always being shaped by what is spoken again and again. So this morning, choose words that open your spirit instead of closing it. Choose words that welcome peace instead of feeding fear. Choose words that prepare your inner world for blessing. And let the first affirmation be simple. Today, I welcome miracles. Say it softly now in your heart. Today, I welcome miracles. Do not rush past it. Let it rest inside you for a moment. Let it be more than a sentence. Let it be an opening. Let it be a decision. Let it be the way you stand at the doorway of this morning. Today, I welcome miracles. With those words, you are no longer beginning in doubt. You are no longer beginning in fear. You are beginning with readiness. You are beginning with faith in its gentlest form. Say it again. Today, I welcome miracles. Feel how simple those words are. Feel how kind they are. They do not ask you to force anything. They do not ask you to explain everything. They do not ask you to know how every blessing will arrive. They only ask you to open. They only ask you to become willing to receive what this day may bring. That is why this affirmation is powerful. It does not create pressure. It creates space. You can let it grow a little wider now. Today, I welcome blessings. Let those words follow the first ones. Today, I welcome miracles. Today, I welcome blessings. Notice the softness in that. Notice how different it feels from beginning the day with, I hope I can survive this, or I already feel behind, or something will probably go wrong. These new words move in another direction. They are not feeding fear. They are feeding openness. They are teaching your mind another way to enter the morning. Now say this gently. Today I welcome peace. Let that be part of your morning language too. Peace is not separate from miracles. Peace is often one of the first miracles. A peaceful breath when the mind wanted to race is a miracle. A peaceful heart in the middle of uncertainty is a miracle. A peaceful response where there used to be fear is a miracle. So say it with love. Today I welcome peace. Let peace be something you receive, not something you postpone until every problem is gone. You can keep going. Today I welcome good into my life. This is another beautiful way to begin. Good does not need to be named in one exact form. It can come as kindness, guidance, strength, protection, healing, wisdom, joy, timing, rest, or new opportunity. You do not need to control it before it comes. You do not need to decide all at once what it must look like. You simply welcome it. Today I welcome good into my life. Let that sentence soften the places in you that have forgotten how to expect good. Affirmations matter because the mind listens to what it repeats. The heart listens too. The body listens too. Every repeated thought becomes a kind of inner instruction. If you begin every day by repeating fear, then fear becomes familiar. If you begin every day by repeating pressure, then pressure becomes the atmosphere you live in. But if you begin every day by repeating truth, blessing, peace, and openness, then your inner world begins to change. It begins to trust another rhythm. It begins to expect another kind of day. This is why morning affirmations are not empty words. They are seeds. They are the first seeds planted in the fresh soil of the day. If you plant fear, fear grows. If you plant hurry, hurry grows. If you plant criticism, heaviness grows. But if you plant openness, peace, and trust, then those qualities begin to grow too. The morning is powerful because the mind is still tender then. The heart is still close to its quiet place. The first words matter deeply, so choose them with care. Choose them with love. Try speaking the affirmations slowly, as if each one is washing your spirit clean from the noise of yesterday. Today I welcome miracles. Today I welcome blessings. Today I welcome peace. Today I welcome good into my life. Let them come one by one. Let them settle. Let them reach the deeper places in you that have been tired, doubtful, or afraid. There is healing in repetition. The same truth spoken with love again and again begins to root itself in the soul. You may notice that when you say these words, part of your mind argues back. It may say, "What if nothing changes?" It may say, "What if today is hard?" It may say, "I have said good things befit," or, "and still felt pain." That is okay. Do not fight that part of yourself. Do not argue with it harshly. Just keep speaking the truth you want to live by. Keep offering the heart another path. Keep planting the seed. Over time, repetition softens resistance. Over time, the new words begin to feel more natural than the old ones. Say this too: I am open and ready to receive the good of this day. This affirmation is simple, but it carries deep meaning. It reminds you that receiving is part of your spiritual life. It reminds you that you do not have to chase everything. It reminds you that you can move through the day with open hands. I am open and ready to receive the good of this day. Let those words create a spacious feeling in your body. Let them tell your heart that it no longer needs to stand guard against every possible joy. You can also say, life is bringing me blessings in ways I can see and ways I cannot yet see. This is a beautiful morning truth. So much is moving for you that the mind does not yet understand. So much guidance is already at work. So much protection is already happening. So much kindness is already being arranged in quiet ways. When you say this affirmation, you stop limiting your faith to only what is already visible. You remember that life can be loving behind the scenes too. Let the affirmations continue to widen the heart. I trust this day. I trust the timing of this day. I trust that peace can lead me. I trust that what is meant for me can reach me. These are not big dramatic statements. They are steadying ones. They help the spirit relax. They help the body soften. They remind you that the day does not have to be entered with clenched fists. It can be entered with trust. Sometimes one affirmation will feel strongest for you. Sometimes your heart will need peace most. Sometimes it will need hope most. Sometimes it will need the reminder that blessings are still possible. Let yourself notice what you need this morning. Then repeat that line with extra tenderness. If your mind feels tired, say, "Today I welcome peace." If your heart feels discouraged, say, "Today I welcome miracles." If you feel afraid of what is ahead, say, "I am open and ready to receive the good of this day." Let the affirmation become medicine for the exact place that needs it. And as you speak these words, do not speak them like demands. Speak them like invitations. Speak them like a window opening. Speak them like morning light entering a quiet room. Speak them with gentleness. The nervous system responds to gentleness. The heart responds to gentleness. There is no need to shout at yourself to believe. There is no need to force the soul. Just repeat the truth with calmness. Let it arrive naturally. Morning affirmations are also a way of choosing your inner voice before the world chooses one for you. The world may be noisy. The world may be fast. The world may try to tell you what to fear, what to chase, what to compare, what to prove. But before all of that enters, you get to choose your own first voice. Let it be a voice of blessing. Let it be a voice of peace. Let it be a voice that says, "This day is not my enemy. This day can hold good. I am ready to receive it." Take a breath now and repeat the central words once more. Today I welcome miracles. Again, today I welcome miracles. And once more, today I welcome miracles. Let those words become the rhythm of your morning. Let them be the thread you carry through the hours ahead. When fear rises, return to them. When the day feels rushed, return to them. When you forget and start bracing again, return to them. They will bring you back to openness. They will bring you back to trust. They will remind you that blessings are not always something you chase. Very often, they are something you welcome. Then add the other lines softly. Today I welcome blessings. Today I welcome peace. Today I welcome good into my life. I am open and ready to receive the good of this day. Stay with them for a little longer. Let them shape the atmosphere of your heart. Let them become stronger than the old morning fear. Let them begin the quiet work of changing your inner world. Because when the inner world changes, the day itself begins to feel different. The same hours are ahead of you, but now you are walking into them with another spirit. Now you are walking into them like someone who has made room for miracles. Now imagine this morning covered in a soft golden light. It is gentle, warm, peaceful, and full of love. This light is not far away from you. It is all around you now. It touches the air. It fills the space around your body. It rests softly on your face, your shoulders, your chest, and your hands. It feels calm and kind. It feels safe. It feels like life itself is reaching toward you with blessing. See this golden light moving slowly into your heart. As it enters, it fills every tired place with peace. It fills every worried place with trust. It fills every heavy place with softness. You do not need to make this happen. You do not need to control it. You only need to allow it. The light already knows where to go. It already knows how to comfort you. It already knows how to remind you that you are held, guided, and loved. As this light fills your heart, imagine it carrying all the good you are ready to receive today. It carries peace for your mind. It carries strength for your body. It carries wisdom for your choices. It carries calm for your emotions. It carries blessing for your path. It carries little surprises of grace that you may not yet see. It carries the quiet message that life is still good and life is still working with you in loving ways. Now imagine this golden light moving into your mind. Every thought that has been tight begins to soften. Every fear that has been loud begins to grow quieter. Every old story that says you must struggle for everything begins to lose its power. The light does not fight your thoughts. It simply brings peace to them. It brings space. It brings gentleness. It brings a new feeling into the mind, the feeling that today does not have to be carried in fear. See the light, it moving down into your chest and your breath. Each breath becomes calmer. Each breath becomes deeper. Each breath becomes a little more trusting. It is as if your whole body is learning a new way to begin the day. Not with pressure, not with tension, not with rushing, but with openness, but with stillness, but with a quiet readiness to receive all the good that this day may bring. Now let the light move into your hands. These hands that work, hold, give, carry, and create. Let them relax. Let them open. Let them stop gripping. You do not need to hold too tightly this morning. You do not need to force the day into place. Let your hands become a symbol of your spirit, open, relaxed, ready, willing. This is what it means to receive. It means that the whole self becomes softer. It means that you stop standing against life and begin allowing life to reach you. Imagine now that this golden light is not only around you, but also moving ahead of you into the day. It goes before you into every hour. It goes before you into every room, every conversation, every task, every choice. It prepares the way with peace. It prepares the way with blessing. It prepares the way with unseen help. You may not know exactly what the day will hold, but you can imagine this light moving ahead of you, making the path softer, calmer, wiser, and more supported. As you see this, tell yourself quietly, I am safe to receive. Let those words settle into you. I am safe to receive peace. I am safe to receive blessings. I am safe to receive help. I am safe to receive joy. I am safe to receive love. For many people, giving feels easier than receiving. Working feels easier than receiving. Struggling feels easier than receiving. But this morning, let the body and heart learn another truth. It is safe to receive. It is safe to be supported. It is safe to be blessed. Now imagine that the golden light places something beautiful into your day. It may be peace. It may be strength. It may be healing. It may be hope. It may be unexpected kindness. It may be a clearer mind. It may be a new opportunity. It may be courage. Whatever it is, let yourself feel that something good is being placed into your hands this morning. Not because you forced it, but because you opened to it. Not because you chased it, but because you welcomed it. There is something so healing about seeing yourself receive. So many people are used to carrying, doing, fixing, planning, and proving. But receiving is holy too. Receiving is part of your spiritual life. Receiving says, I trust life enough to let it love me. Receiving says, I do not have to earn every good thing through struggle. Receiving says, I am willing to let grace reach me. This is what the golden light is teaching you now. It is teaching you how to stand in the morning with an open heart and say yes. Let that yes become stronger. Yes to peace. Yes to blessing. Yes to healing. Yes to joy. Yes to support. Yes to little miracles. Yes to a day that may unfold more beautifully than you expected. You do not need to know all the details. You only need to stand, be open. This visualization is not just imagination. It is a way of preparing your spirit. It is a way of saying to life, I am ready to receive what is good, what is kind, what is meant for me. As the golden light continues to surround you, notice how your body feels. Notice if your shoulders have softened. Notice if your breath has deepened. Notice if your heart feels a little more peaceful. This is how receiving begins. Not with noise, but with softness. Not with force, but with space. Not with fear, but with trust. Let yourself stay here for one more moment and feel that this day is already touched by blessing. Tell yourself again, today I welcome miracles. Today I welcome blessings. Today I welcome peace. Today I welcome good into my life. Let those words blend with the image of the golden light. Let them become one morning practice, one spiritual opening, one way of beginning the day in deep readiness. You are not reaching outside yourself for something impossible. You are simply making room for the good that has always been trying to reach you. Now carry this feeling with you as the day begins. Do not leave it behind in this quiet moment. Do not think of this peace as something only for now. Let it walk with you into the hours ahead. Let it move with you into your thoughts, your words, your choices, and your steps. The purpose of this morning practice is not only to feel peaceful for a moment. It is to help you move through the whole day in a different spirit. As you go into your day, move gently. You do not need to rush to prove your worth. You do not need to push every moment so hard. Let your energy stay calm. Let your breath stay steady. Let your heart stay open. This is how you carry the blessing forward. Not by forcing yourself to feel perfect, but by returning again and again to the same truth. I am open, I am guided, and I am willing to receive good today. When you speak to others today, bring this energy with you. Speak from peace where you can. Speak from kindness where you can. Speak from a steady heart instead of a tense mind. The way you move through the day matters. Your calm spirit changes how you hear, how you respond, how you choose. A peaceful person notices more than a rushed person. A peaceful person receives more than a fearful person. A peaceful person is often guided more clearly because the noise inside is quieter. As you walk through the day, stay open to small miracles too. Do not look only for something huge. Notice the little ways life is helping you. Notice the moment when your mind becomes clear after confusion. Notice the moment when you feel stronger than you expected. Notice the right word arriving at the right time. Notice the peace that returns after stress. Notice the help you did not plan for. Notice the door that opens. Notice the door that closes and keeps you safe. Notice the kind message, the gentle answer, the new idea, the calm feeling that tells you what to do next. These small miracles matter. They are not less important because they are quiet. In fact, many days are changed by little blessings more than by dramatic ones. A soft answer can save a conversation. A calm mind can change a decision. A clear thought can shift a whole direction. A protected delay can save you from the wrong path. Do not overlook these things. Do not call them small as if they are nothing. The more you notice them, the more your heart learns how deeply life is moving with you. If the day becomes stressful, pause. You do not have to stay lost in that stress. Return to your morning truth. Take one slow breath and say, "Today I welcome miracles." If you begin to rush, pause and say, "I welcome peace into this moment." If fear starts speaking loudly again, pause and say, "I am open to good even now." Let these words become your way back to yourself. Let them become your way back to trust. You do not need to stay trapped in the first wave of stress. You can return at any time. There may be moments today that do not go as planned. There may be delays. There may be hard feelings. There may be uncertainty. But even then, you can still move through the day with openness. Openness does not mean every moment feels easy. It means you remain willing to trust that life is still working, even in the parts you do not understand yet. It means you stop deciding too quickly that a challenge means the day is ruined. It means you remember that blessing can still be present, even in a moment that looks different from what you hoped. This is a powerful way to live. It keeps the heart from closing too quickly. It keeps the mind from making every hard moment into the whole story. It keeps the spirit from falling into old fear patterns so easily. When something difficult happens, you can say, "This is not the whole day. This is only one moment. Life is still with me. Blessing is still possible. Peace is still available." That kind of response protects your spirit. It keeps you aligned with what is deeper than the temporary stress. Also carry openness into the way you see yourself today. Be gentle with yourself. If you feel tired, be kind. If you feel emotional, be kind. If you make a mistake, be kind. A person who wants to welcome miracles cannot spend the whole day attacking themselves. Self-criticism closes the heart. Gentleness opens it. You do not need to treat yourself harshly in order to have a meaningful day. In fact, kindness may be one of the greatest miracles you can offer yourself. Let today be a day where you walk more slowly inside, even if the outside world is busy. Let there be calm in your center. Let there be softness in your breath. Let there be room in your spirit. This inner way of moving changes everything. It helps you notice what is true. It helps you feel what matters. It helps you stay connected to peace, even while life is unfolding. You may not control every event, but you can choose the spirit you bring into those events. Bring peace. Bring openness. bring trust. If something lovely happens today, receive it fully. Do not brush it away. Do not say it is nothing. Do not make yourself smaller than the blessing. If kind words come, receive them. If help comes, receive it. If joy comes, let it stay for a moment. If rest comes, allow it. If peace comes, do not become afraid of it. Let yourself enjoy the gift. Let yourself believe that goodness can stay with you. This is part of your practice too. Not only noticing blessings, but also letting them enter. And when the day gives you ordinary moments, fill them with awareness. Washing your hands can be a pause for peace. Drinking water can be a reminder of blessing. Walking to the next task can become a moment to breathe and return. Looking at the sky can become a quiet prayer. These simple acts help you stay in connection with your morning truth. They help keep the heart open. They remind you that spiritual life is not separate from daily life. It moves through ordinary hours in holy ways. So move through today like someone who is available for grace. Move through today like someone who knows that goodness can appear in many forms. Move through today like someone who has made room for blessing. You do not need to force a miracle. You do not need to search with strain. Just stay open. Stay aware. Stay soft enough to notice. Stay trusting enough to receive. And if you forget for a while, return. If you become tense, return. If the day becomes noisy, return. If old fear takes over for a moment, return. This practice is not about being perfect from morning to night. It is about remembering. It is about coming back. It is about choosing again and again to live from openness instead of fear. Every time you return, the heart grows stronger in trust. Every time you return, peace becomes more natural. Every time you return, your spirit becomes more able to recognize the quiet miracles already around you. Now let gratitude open the heart even wider. Gratitude has a quiet power. It softens the spirit. It calms the mind. It helps you see what fear tries to hide. When you are grateful, you are no longer standing in front of life with closed arms. You are standing with open hands. Gratitude says, I see the good that is here. I honor the blessing that is here. I am willing to receive more. This is why gratitude matters so much in a morning practice like this. Gratitude is not only something you feel after everything goes well. Gratitude is a way of beginning. It is a way of preparing the heart. It is a way of telling life, I notice your kindness. Even if the blessing is small, I notice it. Even if peace is quiet, I notice it. Even if today is just beginning, I notice that I am alive, breathing, and still able to receive good. That kind of noticing changes the whole tone of the day. You do not need a long list to be grateful. Begin simply. Be grateful for this breath. Be grateful for this morning. Be grateful for the chance to begin again. Be grateful for the light entering the day. Be grateful that your heart is still open enough to listen. Be grateful that peace is possible. Be grateful that blessing is possible. Be grateful that life has brought you here again to another day, another beginning, another chance to choose trust. Gratitude does not mean pretending there are no hard things in your life. It does not mean you deny what is heavy. It means you do not let heaviness become the only thing you see. It means you train your heart to notice what is still beautiful, what is still kind, what is still holding you up. Even in a difficult season, there are things to be grateful for. There is breath. There is light. There is the body still trying. There is the chance to begin again. There is the possibility that something good can still happen today. When you practice gratitude, you become more able to receive. This is because gratitude opens the inner space where blessing can land. A grateful heart is not fighting life in the same way. A grateful heart is softer. A grateful heart is more peaceful. A grateful heart is paying attention. And when the heart pays attention, it sees more. It sees more beauty. It sees more help. It sees more timing. It sees more grace. It sees more of what has been there all along. Tell yourself quietly now, thank you for this day. Let that be enough for a moment. Thank you for this day. Thank you for this breath. Thank you for this chance to begin with peace. Thank you for the blessings I can already see. Thank you for the blessings still on their way. These words may sound simple, but they carry deep spiritual power. They move you out of lack and into receiving. They shift your inner position from fear to trust. Gratitude also helps the heart stop clinging so tightly. When you are grateful, you do not feel the same need to chase. You do not feel the same need to force. You begin to realize that life is already giving in quiet ways. This does not make you passive. It makes you receptive. It helps you live with a softer spirit. It helps you move through the day with the feeling that you are already supported, already held, already surrounded by good in ways you may not fully understand. Take a moment now and think of one simple thing you are grateful for this morning. It may be very small. It may be the stillness of this moment. It may be your breath. It may be the warmth of your room. It may be the chance to slow down. It may be the feeling that something inside you is beginning to change. Let that one thing become real in your heart. Feel the gratitude for it. Let it soften you. Let it widen you. Let it remind you that blessing is already present. Now think of one thing you are ready to receive with gratitude today. Peace, guidance, joy, healing, kindness, strength, a calm heart, a helpful answer, a clear mind. Choose one and say, I receive this with gratitude. I receive peace with gratitude. I receive guidance with gratitude. I receive this day with gratitude. There is something powerful in thanking life not only for what has already come, but also for what you are now opening to receive. Gratitude is like a spiritual doorway. It does not force anything open. It simply welcomes what is good. It says, there is room here. There is room in my heart. There is room in my day. There is room in my spirit. And because of that, life begins to feel less heavy. The world begins to feel less closed. The day begins to feel more alive with possibility. Gratitude reminds you that goodness is not only somewhere in the future. Goodness is already touching your life now. When you move through the day with gratitude, you begin to experience things differently. Ordinary moments become softer. Little blessings become brighter. Help becomes easier to notice. You stop passing over the quiet miracles. You stop telling yourself that only huge changes count. You begin to see that grace often comes in simple forms: a calm breath, a strong heart, a gentle answer, a kind person, a feeling of support, a new beginning in the middle of the day. Gratitude helps you see these things clearly. So let gratitude be part of your morning welcome. Let it stand beside your affirmation. Let it stand beside your openness. Let it stand beside your trust. Say, today I welcome miracles. And then say, thank you for the miracles already here. Say, today I welcome blessings. And then say, thank you for the blessings I can already feel. Say, today I welcome peace. And then say, thank you for the peace already growing in me. These two movements belong together. Welcome and gratitude, openness and thanks, receiving and honoring. As your heart practices this, it becomes more natural. Gratitude becomes less like a task and more like a way of seeing. You begin to wake up with a softer spirit. You begin to move through life with more trust. You begin to notice that there is always something to thank life for, even when all is not yet complete. And that thankfulness does something beautiful. It keeps the heart alive. It keeps the soul open. It keeps you connected to blessing in the middle of ordinary life. So breathe and feel gratitude now. Thank life for this moment. Thank life for the breath in your body. Thank life for the good you see and the good still forming. Thank life for this chance to choose peace at the beginning of the day. Let gratitude become part of your energy. Let it become part of your morning prayer. Let it become part of the atmosphere you carry into the hours ahead. Because a grateful heart is a receiving heart, and a receiving heart is ready for miracles. Now let this morning settle gently into your spirit. Let all of these words rest softly inside you. You do not need to hold them tightly. You do not need to remember every line. You only need to keep the feeling, keep the softness, keep the openness, keep the quiet trust that this day can hold more blessing than fear first told you. Let that be enough. This day is blessed. Before you rush into it, before you question it, before you try to control it, let yourself feel that truth. This day is blessed. It may not be perfect, but it is blessed. It may not unfold exactly as you expect, but it is blessed. It may ask things of you, but it can also carry grace to you. Life is moving through this day with wisdom greater than your fear. Life is holding things together in ways you cannot always see. You are not walking into this day alone. You are open to good. Let that truth live in you too. You are open to peace. You are open to guidance. You are open to support. You are open to the kind surprises of life. You are open to the quiet miracle of a calm mind. You are open to the blessing of a soft heart. You are open to the moments of grace that are waiting for you in forms both small and beautiful. You do not need to chase them. You only need to stay open enough to receive them. You are guided. Even when you do not know every answer, you are guided. Even when the path is not fully clear, you are guided. Even when life feels uncertain, you are guided. There is wisdom moving with you. There is help moving with you. There is peace available to you. The next step does not need to be forced. The next step can be received. You are allowed to trust that the day will reveal what needs to be revealed at the right time. You are safe. Let your body hear that truth. Let your breath hear that truth. Let your heart hear that truth. You are safe to move gently through this morning. You are safe to open your spirit. You are safe to receive peace. You are safe to believe that something good can happen today. So many people move through life as if safety only comes from control. But this morning, let safety come from trust. Let safety come from the feeling that life is holding you in ways deeper than the mind understands. You receive this day with love, not with fear, not with dread, not with closed hands, but with love. Love for the new beginning, love for the simple breath, love for the chance to start again, love for the possibility of blessing, love for the quiet miracle of being here, alive, present, open. Let this be the spirit in which you begin. Let it shape your first steps. Let it shape your first thoughts. Let it shape the energy you bring into the world. Say it once more, softly and with peace. Today I welcome miracles. Again. Today I welcome miracles. And once more, today I welcome miracles. Let that be the thread that runs through your day. Let it return to you when the world gets noisy. Let it return to you when fear tries to speak again. Let it return to you when you need a way back to your own heart. Today, I welcome miracles. Now add the other truths with the same softness. Today, I welcome blessings. Today, I welcome peace. Today, I welcome good into my life. I am open and ready to receive the good of this day. Feel how those words settle in your body. Feel how they steady your spirit. Feel how they open the way for grace to move through the rest of this morning. And as you go forward, carry this quiet blessing with you. May your heart stay soft. May your mind stay clear. May your steps be guided. May your spirit stay open. And may this day meet you with kindness. May you notice the blessings that are already here. May you trust the ones still on their way. May you remember that peace is available to you, even in small moments. May you walk gently enough to feel life moving with you. This morning is not only a beginning, it is a blessing in itself. It is a holy pause. It is a reminder that you can choose another way to live. You can begin with peace. You can begin with truth. And you can begin with openness. You can begin with gratitude. You can begin with the quiet decision to welcome the good that belongs in your life. That decision matters. That decision changes the day. That decision changes you. So move into this day with a soft heart and trusting eyes. Expect good things in quiet ways. Expect peace to return when you need it. Expect guidance to rise when you ask for it. Expect blessing to reach you in forms you may not have planned. Expect grace to meet you in the ordinary moments, too. Life is full of holy surprises for the heart that stays open. And so let this be your morning practice, not only for today, but for every day you need to begin again. Begin with breath. Begin with peace. Begin with openness. Begin with the simple truth that miracles do not always have to be chased. They can be welcomed. Blessings do not always need to be forced. They can be received. Life does not always need to be feared. It can be trusted. Remember what you are carrying with you now. You are carrying the image of golden light. You are carrying the feeling of an open heart. You are carrying the power of gentle words spoken with faith. You are carrying the truth that gratitude opens the soul. You are carrying the knowing that even the smallest miracle can shape a whole day. These things matter. These things stay with you. These things quietly guide the way you live. If the day becomes loud, return to your breath. If fear rises, return to your affirmation. If you begin to close again, return to openness. If you forget, begin again. That is part of the practice too. Beginning again with kindness. Beginning again without shame. Beginning again without pressure. Every return is holy. Every return is healing. Every return is a little miracle of its own. Let this final truth rest deeply in your heart. You are not forgotten by life. You are not outside of blessing. You are not too late for peace. You are not too late for joy. You are not too late for healing. This day can still hold grace for you. This day can still hold beauty for you. This day can still hold unexpected kindness for you, and you are allowed to receive it. So go into this morning softly. Go into it with trust. Go into it with gratitude. Go into it with open hands and a peaceful spirit. And say once more, with quiet faith and a full heart, today I welcome miracles.